Yo, what's good, YouTube? Zamcrow here, aka Scoot, back with a UBC battle. We're in week number 9, and we're facing off against Miticus, coach of the Boston Beedrills, I do believe. And he had a pretty threatening squad, but at the same time, had a lot of mons that I just thought were setup fodder. So I bring a pretty funky offensive team this week. I know all my teams are offensive, but this one in particular involves a lot of setup mons and whatnot. And basically, all of my mons are set up. Except for Zapdos and Mamoswine. But yeah, I'll get into my team real quick and then start the battle. First of all, I'll go over both teams. He has Tapu Bulu, Heatran, which is a Z Crystal holder, potentially. Mega Gyarados, Como O, which is another Z Crystal holder, potentially. Galvantula, Kamala, Chansey, Tentacruel, Frostlass, which is another Z Crystal holder, potentially. Licky, and Claydol. And of course we have Victini, Zapdos, Mamoswine, Mega Gardevoir, Shaman, Ditto, Cobalion, Scrafty, Gyarados, Swellow, and Golurk, with Gyarados, Shaman, and Zapdos as our potential Z Crystal holders. That being said, I was looking at his team and I thought, like, for Gyarados, Heatran, potentially Mega Gyarados, Chansey, Kamala, Tentacruel, Licky, and Claydol. I figured all those mons were set up potential. And then Cobalion and Mega Gardevoir can set up upon. Cobalion can set up on Bulu. Potentially Heatran, not Gyarados, excuse me. Kamala, Chansey, Licky, and then Mega Gardevoir could set up on Claydol, Licky, potentially Tentacruel if it don't carry any poison type coverage, Chansey as well, so on and so on. I just felt like my team had a lot of setup potential versus this team, so I'm going to bring a sub Dragon Dance Waterfall, Bounce, Leftovers, Moxie, Gyarados with which is Adamant, Max Attack, enough speed to, I want to say, outspeed Tapu Bulu, I think. If it's Adamant, I believe, with 248 HP, or not 248, but just 48 HP EVs, which was my leftovers. So I have a pretty standard Gyarados, I would say. Pretty much what I bring every week, except I have Moxie instead of Intimidate this week. And then my Zapdos is going to be just a pivot with Toxic Stall. Basically just has Volt Switch, Toxic, Roost, and Defog. Because he does have Webs, he does have Stealth Rocks, he does have Toxic Spikes, and I think Spikes even. So he has like every form of setup, hazard setup there is. So I need my Defog. I don't want to be hazard stacked. I do run Pressure and Leftovers. I think Pressure is required for Roost and Defog, or maybe just Defog, but it helps me out against like Heatran, Chansey, Licky. It just helps me out so I can Toxic Stall them better. Besides Heatran, can't be Toxic Stalled. I am a defensive set with enough speed to outspeed. I don't remember what I'm outspeeding. I built this team a little over a week ago, so I'm not really sure what I'm outspeeding. Next up is my Galvantula Mamoswine lead with Focus Sash, Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Icicle Crash, and Ice Shard. Adamant Max Attack. 216 EVs in speed, 40 EVs in HP. And I'm Oblivious, so I can't be taunted if he wants to lead with Frostlass or something like that. But yeah, this is to lead against. This is my like designated lead, so I can set up Stealth Rocks if he doesn't lead Galvantula. If he does lead Galvantula, I can Earthquake into Ice Shard, pick him off, and then bring in Zapdos later in the match and defog the webs away. And if he leads with the Frost Blast, I can Earthquake into Ice Shard, and it should be able to pick him off, as he might go for the taunt. If I do expect the taunt, I will set up my Stealth Rocks first, and then go for the Earthquake into Ice Shard to pick him off. And then, like I said, or I might not even do that, just so Zapdos can come in and defog later, and then I can maybe set my rocks up again later or something. But that's going to be Mamoswine, and then next up is Mega Gardevoir. Substitute, Calm Mind, Hyper Voice, and Psyshock. Modest Nature with 240 EVs and Speed, 16 and HP. This allows me to outspeed, I think, the Kommo-o. And then I thought everything else either outspeeds me or isn't a threat offensively. And then Hyper Voice and Psyshock run through his team once Heatran is gone, which the rest of my team deals with pretty well. Mamoswine and Gyarados. And then Cobalion as well. Leftovers, Justified set with Substitute, Swords Dance, Close Combat, Iron Head. This thing basically hits everything on his team minus the Tentacruel, which again, the rest of my team deals with pretty good. And then I am adamant with enough speed to outspeed the Kommo-o. Now I thought about, I think running enough speed to outspeed the Galvantula. But Galvantula doesn't really do much back to me, especially if I have a sub up. It can't break my sub with Bug Buzz, so it has to rely on Thunderbolt or Thunder. And most likely a Compound Ice set with Thunder, so I think Cobalion and all my setup mons, I think, have a pretty good time versus his team. And next up is going to be Victini. I got a sub V-Create Zen Headbutt Power Up Punch set with enough speed to outspeed Kommo-o, almost max HP, and a little bit of investment in attack. This set sub can't be broken by Chansey. Has a hard time being broken by Heatran unless it has Earth Power. Same for Tentacruel's Scald. I have a chance to not have it broken. And then for Bulu, it has to be a very offensive set to break my sub. But yeah, that's going to be the team. So we can hop into the battle here now. He does bring the Bulu, the Kamala, Kommo-o, Chansey, Mega Gyarados, and Galvantula. So like I said, I'm going to lead Mamoswine here, and he's going to lead Chansey. And now he's going to probably fear Knockoff. So I think I'm going to be able to set up my rocks here as he goes into Gyarados. Yeah, I'm going to set up my rocks. He goes into Gyarados, forces me out. I'm going to go straight into my Zapdos. So if this thing sets up a sub, I'm just going to break it immediately. He does double out into Kamala. Probably just wants to Rapid Spin the Stealth Rocks away. And I just get me a nice Volt Switch off here. He does get the Rapid Spin though. I go into my Cobalion, which can set up on this thing. And where he's forced to Mega Evolve, I'm free to go ahead and set up a sub and some Swords Dances. He's forced to Mega Evolve because that's the rules of the league. So he does become weak to my fighting type of stab. Just go ahead and set up a Swords Dance here while I'm behind a sub. He goes into Galvantula, and I'm going to be able to take nothing from Bug Buzz as it is resisted. And I will be able to go for the Iron Head, and it's an easy 2-hit KO. But he does decide to pull a switch here into his Gyarados, which can't intimidate me through my sub. I get the Iron Head off. Does a pretty good chunk of damage there. And now he's forced to Mega Evolve. And I can just click Close Combat here. And now that's one huge threat out of my way. And now he has to pick what else he wants to take some big damage before he breaking my sub. I go for the Close Combat here, my strongest attack. And he will be able to break my sub here. But I can hard switch out. Or I am actually EV to outspeed the Kommo-o. And since I did outspeed him on the first turn, I know it's not a speed tie. because he would have to be choice scarf to outspeed me. So I'm going to be able to pick him off with the iron head there, and already looking like the game's way in our favor. And now he brings in Galvantula. I thought about hard swapping the Mamoswine, but I just figured going in Zapdos was the better middle ground play. But I do get rocked by the Thunder. So knowing he can't knock me out with Bug Buzz, he does have to go for the Thunder again, and I'm just going to hard swap into Mamoswine as he sets up his rocks. Really, really good play. I mean, webs. I just pick him off with the Ice Shard, though. I can get rid of those webs later. I go for the Icicle Crash here, and I miss, and that's unfortunate because of a lot of reasons. Would have been really nice to land the Icicle Crash and potentially prevent this Nature's Madness from landing. It does hard swap into Chansey here. I don't have the knockoff, so a bit unfortunate. I am gaining some HP back thanks to the grassy terrain. And I'm going to hard swap into Gyarados here, predicting rocks. Or predicting him to do anything except Thunder Wave, since I was a Mamoswine. I don't think he would have gone for Thunder Wave there, so I felt like my Gyarados is a pretty safe switch in here. And so I can set up. I'm not affected by the webs, and I got in before the rocks came in. He does go for the Toxic as I set up a sub, which is pretty good for me because now I know a little bit more about his set. He probably has the Seismic Toss and the Soft Boil along with Toxic and Stealth Rock. I'm going to go for the Waterfall here, see what kind of damage I can do, knowing he's going to go for the Seismic Toss again. And now just throw off another Waterfall, knowing that he's not going to risk me going for sub as he goes for another Toxic, I don't think. And now he hard swaps into Tapu Bulu as I set up another Dragon Dance. And basically I'm going to be able to click bounce and knock him out. And it's kind of looking like game here. I don't think there's a way he can win, especially since I am the Moxie variant. He does bring out the Kamala. I think this thing just drops to a Waterfall as he goes for the Sucker Punch to get a little chip damage. And now he brings in Chansey, and I think this thing just drops to a +3 Waterfall. It does, and that's going to be game. So, good game to Midicus and the Boston Beedrills. We move on to 7-2, I believe, is our record, I think. Don't quote me on that, though. I do think we are 7-2, though. And the number 1 and number 2 team play this week, so we're probably going to be number 2 team at the end of this week. And that's really good for the playoff seeds and whatnot. And gives me a solid position within the league. And that's going to be that. The 6-0 really helps my differential as well. Puts me at a +13 differential. So yeah, good game, Midicus, and we'll be back next week against the Broadway Blastoise, I think, and Coach Sir Squire, I think. And that's going to be it. So yeah, if you like, leave a like, comment, subscribe. All the good stuff. Thank you for watching. Gyarados finally putting in that work for me. And yeah, so I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you for watching.